Yo guys, welcome to the very first video on my channel. I was gonna wait a couple more days before uploading, but I saw the news go down on the Porzingis trade and I figured, hey, let's do a really quick video, talk about what went down. This will likely not be the format going forward unless people enjoy it, but I figured let's throw our thoughts out there, see what we think about this trade, and have an open discussion. I saw a lot of people on Twitter upset with the Knicks, huge surprise, definitely didn't see that one coming. But there's also some upside here for the Knicks as well, outside of Kristaps' injury history, the fact that there's two huge contracts going to the Mavericks. This is definitely a trade that I don't think we'll see a clear winner until a couple years down the line. Obviously, Porzingis is the best player in this deal. This is definitely a Mavericks move to just go all in. We've seen this before when they went for Rondo. They want to get their player, and when Cuban sets his mind to it, he goes for it. So respect to him for pulling the trigger. But this is also a move for the Knicks to bet on themselves, bet on their ability to get free agents, and of course move from Porzingis. He seemed to have some conflict with the front office, and instead of working it out, they just shipped him out. I don't know if there's something beyond the injury, who knows, but he is out of New York. So here are the details. We have the Knicks sending Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee, for Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan, and Wesley Matthews. So here's what's really cool about what the Mavs did. DeAndre was only a 1 year, he only got signed for 1 year for the Mavericks for, I believe, $24 million. So essentially, this is kind of a free trade piece. He didn't really do much for the Mavs, like they kind of had a subpar year. They're out of the playoffs right now. So that's nice. They're trading him, getting value out of his contract. And with Wesley Matthews, of course, his contract was going to expire again. They didn't trade anything for Wesley Matthews. He was just a free agent they signed a couple of years ago. So essentially, the Mavericks are just trading Dennis Smith Jr., who they got in the draft, which the Knicks probably, could have drafted, but that's besides the point. They're trading Dennis Smith Jr. here, as well as 2 first-round picks for Porzingis, but they also have to take these terrible contracts from Tim Hardaway Jr., who signed for, I believe, 2 more years at like $20 million or something crazy like that. So they have to take a terrible contract with Tim Hardaway Jr. and a terrible contract with Courtney Lee. Courtney Lee's is not as bad, but he's still signed for another year, I believe. So they are essentially throwing 3 picks here for Kristaps Porzingis. Will he stay with the Mavs? He is going to sign a qualifying offer, which means we won't really know if he stays until the end of next year. I do believe he actually will stay with the Mavs. I've heard that he does like Luka, gets along with Dirk, so hopefully that relationship can grow, and I would love to see them team up together for years to come. So the deal, in my eyes, is 3 first-round picks. I guess if you consider Dennis Smith Jr. a first-round pick. I don't think Dennis Smith Jr. is a max contract player, but he signed for like 4. He's on his rookie deal, so he's good for 4 more years. So the Knicks definitely like that. But I would expect the Knicks to actually try to flip DeAndre Jordan and Wesley Matthews for a first-round pick. I don't know how much they can get, how much value they can get for these 2 players. But it wouldn't surprise me if they were to at least get 1 first-round pick for both of them. Ideally, they get 2, even if they're kind of late in the first round. So ultimately, they're getting 4, maybe 5 draft picks for Kristaps Porzingis. Considering he didn't want to be there, I would say that's actually quite a pretty nice haul. And you're moving away 2 terrible contracts. So the Knicks are essentially pressing the reset button here. They have a bunch of picks coming their way, assuming they trade DeAndre and Wesley Matthews. I don't think they'll stick around. They don't want to win games. They want to tank, get Zion. You guys get the idea. DeAndre might stick around. He might get bought out. Who knows? I would expect them to try to flip these players from some picks. They could easily try to get something out of the Rockets. The Rockets were willing to give up 4 picks for Jimmy Butler. So this, I wouldn't exclude the fact that they could get maybe 1-2 picks out of them, but we'll see what happens in this upcoming week. Should be very interesting in with the deadline coming up and all that. And they get to remove these 2 terrible contracts with Tim Hardaway Jr. and Courtney Lee, which will open up 2 max contract slots this summer. Do the Knicks know something we don't? Maybe they do, and maybe they end up with Kyrie and Kevin Durant, and wow, that would change the NBA entirely. Personally, for me, I always assume teams aren't really going to get who they want. We saw the Knicks not get anybody for a couple years, same with the Lakers before LeBron. So if they don't get anybody, at least they have these picks for the upcoming seasons. They have some young talent in Mitchell Robinson as well as Dennis Smith Jr. Maybe they get some other up-and-coming players to show up. Unfortunately, Kristaps did have to go, but they actually did get a fairly decent haul. But a couple things have to go right for the Knicks. Obviously, free agency's got to go right. They don't really have many more assets to trade outside of the ones they got. So this, they got their picks. These picks, I believe, are going to be protected, but like later down the line, like 2021, we're talking 2023. So let's see what the Knicks do this offseason. And the Mavericks, this could work out for the Mavericks as well, because they have Kristaps and Luka, 2 very, very strong building blocks going down the line. So this is definitely a trade, guys, that I don't think we'll see a clear winner until a couple years down the line. Let me know if your idea is different from that. Do you think the Knicks just got absolutely wrecked? They gave up Kristaps. Apparently the rumors were he wanted to, like, they had a meeting like Thursday, and then he just gets traded like an hour later. I don't know. Obviously, there's more to the story. I don't know the exact protections for these picks, but the pick for this year is going to go to the Hawks, which means they didn't trade next year's pick, which means they're, down the line, 2021. I'm sure Mark Cuban is very confident in his ability to get players to Dallas, considering they'll likely have 2 star players. Of course, Kristaps Porzingis here has the injury history, but that's not something that you don't make a trade because you're worried a player is going to get hurt. There's a lot of players that take years to get their bodies accustomed to the NBA, so we'll see how that works down the line. So let me know what you guys think, thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future, and bye-bye.